微動だにしない存在感。ピカピカに輝く健康的なお肌。
The season that nearly killed Super Sentai. Or at least that's what all the rumors claim.
Dash, dash, Ohranger. Dash, dash, Ohranger.
Whoa. Whoa! Choriki Sentai Ohranger. Hello and welcome to Earth Alien ProtoMet. Today I'm going to tap into a mysterious power and talk about the 19th season of the Super Sentai series, Choriki Sentai Ohranger. Let's get to it. The year is 1999. Earth is under attack from the invading machine empire Baranoia, who make quick work of Earth's defenses. The only organization with the means to stop the robot invaders is United Air Force Overtech Hardware, or UAOH for short, who have found the remains of an ancient civilization that harnessed a mysterious power called Choriki. Using Choriki, 5 specially selected soldiers are granted the power to transform into armored warriors, Choriki Sentai Ohranger. And then real life happened. I won't go into the details of them, but events like the subway sarin incident and the Kobe earthquake caused the writers to drastically shift the tone of the series. While the early episodes of the show are quite serious and dramatic, it quickly changed to goofy and silly, which caused quite a bit of mood whiplash. While Ohranger had a similar shift, it didn't happen as early as it did in Ohranger. Unfortunately, unlike Ohranger, the Ohrangers are pretty bland characters. Even though there are episodes that give them some development, it's not nearly enough to leave an impact on me. Aside from some little bits of individuality, all of them feel basically the same. They still come across as professional most of the time, but it's not nearly as well done as in, say, Ultra 7, another show I like for the professionalism of its characters. On the other hand, the royal family of Baranoia are pretty standout. They are the best characters in the series and show more personality than the Ohrangers most of the time. This is in contrast to the early episodes where they openly dismiss emotions. Later they become quite emotional, and the butler characters Acha and Kocha are also pretty notable. And later the Ohrangers are joined by Riki, the survivor of the ancient Choriki civilization that banished Baranoia in the first place. Using his ability to transform into King Ranger, Riki fights to protect a mysterious girl named Doran. But they kind of wind up as background characters, with Riki barely factoring into most episodes that have little to do with him or Doran. Not even the legendary tokusatsu actor Hiroshi Miyauchi, who is fantastic in just about every role he's cast in, is enough to save this series. Which brings us to the topic I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Ohranger had the lowest ratings in the franchise's history up to that point. And as a result, the Super Sentai series was in danger of being cancelled. Except that it wasn't. Despite the low ratings, toy sales were still pretty high, and so the series was never actually in any danger of being cancelled, regardless of what the rumors claim. This also explains the occasionally random introductions of new toys, weapons, that are just there to sell toys. 2 of the most prominent random weapons are the giant roller, which just comes completely out of nowhere in an episode that had a monster that hacked into Woah's database and learned about all the Ohrangers' weapons, yet somehow overlooked it, and Tackle Boy, a wheel and American football-themed robot that is similarly introduced with no explanation. Funny how they were both wheel-themed. And then there's Gunmajin, who just shows up and mostly has no connection to the overarching plot of the series. But at least he has a decent explanation for his existence, unlike the previous 2 toys. And then there's the final arc of this series that returns to the serious tone of the early episodes, but it still feels out of place when compared to the majority of the series. I won't spoil anything in this video, but it is just as disappointing as the rest of the series. Suffice it to say that I'm not really a fan of Ohranger. Thankfully, it's far from the worst season of the Super Sentai series. especially given some of the recent seasons, but I still have a hard time recommending this. Until next time, see ya!